In this second part, we're going to write a script that will trigger our animation. Again, this is using the Unity skeleton project, and this is the second part of the animation videos. So I'm assuming you've watched the previous video and you have this project downloaded. All right, let's go ahead and create a script. C# script. All right, name it attack ability. And then we're going to assign this script to the player so it will run when the game starts. All right, in the script, we're going to add a reference to the animator with this variable. And then the update function, we're going to get input from the player using the attack button, which is called this function, the attack function, and that's going to trigger the attacking trigger in our animator. And one more thing, we're going to make the animator variable public so we can access it in the inspector. So I'm going to drag the sprite under player into the script, and now we have animator assigned. Before we can make this work, we need to make sure that we have the attack button assigned, and we can go to edit, and then project settings, and then input manager, and then in these add another count to this list. So I'm going to 20 now. I already have the attack button set up, but I'm just going to make a new one just for an example. I'm going to call it attack more, and then it's going to be triggered with J. And you see that in the positive button, the J key will trigger this button. I won't be using this button, but whatever button you use, make sure it corresponds to this. All right, so press play, and you should be able to attack now. Cool. One thing you can jump and attack. One thing you'll notice is when you spam the attack button, it's kind of janky like this. So we're gonna fix that right now. Okay, so we fix this by going into the animator. It's a pretty simple fix. And then in the transition to the attack, set in the settings, set can transition to self to false. And now when we press play, I can spam the J key and it won't glitch out. Cool. All right, now we're going to add an enemy to attack. I'm going to create a new game object with sprite renderer. I'm going to assign that sprite renderer the frog image. And then I'm going to add, oh, I can't see it, so I'm going to change the sprite layer to NPC. And then in the collider, I'm going to add a circle collider. And I'm going to adjust that circle collider radius so it fits the frog. Last thing I'll do is assign the layer to enemy. If you don't have an enemy layer, you can add a layer through here. Now you're going to add a game object to the player. So I'm going to create an empty object, call it attack point. And then I'm going to position it so it's in front of the player, and this is where the collider, the attack collider, will look for enemies when you attack. Okay, so we're back in the script. We're going to add this, we're going to get a reference to the attack point. Okay. And then we're going to get a reference to the layer that we want to choose to attack. So I called it enemy layer, but actually I'll rename it to attack layer because we may want to attack different kinds of objects. All right, and then in the attack function, I added this code. Ignore the animator.set bull is jumping. I added that by mistake, or I meant to remove that. So we're going to use the physics 2D overlap circle all to cast an invisible collider, and then we're going to send the results to hits. And then for each hit and hits, we're going to destroy whatever object we hit. And we do that by using the destroy function, and then hit.gameObject will be the game object to destroy. Here's the full code. So yeah. Okay, so back to the game. We're going to assign these variables to the inspector so that they're defined. And then I'm going to set the attack layer to enemy, so that means only destroy objects in the enemy layer. And then lastly, I'm going to apply all our changes to the prefab so it will be consistent throughout the scenes. Alright, and now when we play, we can attack this frog, and it dies. Yay!